Alright, what is going on, guys? So today I'm bringing you another Pokemon X my Wi-Fi battle against Harrison because, quite honestly, Harrison and I have the best battles out of anybody that I battle. It's more fun for me to battle him compared to everybody else. But, as you can see just by looking at my team, I'm bringing a Wailord and a Pineco. Yeah, enough said. And looking at his team, yeah, I'm not even going to say anything, so I'm just going to press play and we're going to get into this because, honestly, this battle was very, very good. A lot better than what I expected, considering what I brought. So he's going to start off with his Magnezone. And I'm going to start off with my Pineco, which has a Violet, just to get up Stealth Rocks, Spikes, all that happy-dappy, lovey-dovey bullshit. So, goes for a Thunderbolt, and of course it's going to do over half, because it's a Pineco. I wanted to see what it would do. I wanted to see if it would be better as a Fortress or a Pineco. Worst comes to worst, I can always just get another Pineco. I'm not too worried about it. Goes for another Thunderbolt, and I live at 5 HP. That is why I like Pineco a lot. And I love Pineco's design. I think he's such a cool looking little Pokemon. And since he's been using Thunderbolt this entire time instead of like switching it up into like Flash Cannon or anything like that, I thought that he was Choice Scarfed. So I switched into my Houndoom to try and scare him out with a Flamethrower. And then I started to over-predict. I was like, what if he predicts my prediction to predict the predictions of the predictions, and he just doesn't switch out? And then I just got scared, and I was like, you know, I'm just going to go for Flamethrower anyway, so that way I can be safe, I can get damage on anything, because it's a Mega Houndoom. I just have got to be extra safe. So, the Flamethrower didn't really do a whole lot of damage, but you know what? It did enough to where I felt safe in switching out to my Porygon 2, taking a Hydro Pump or a Thunder Wave, depending on like how he wanted to cripple my Houndoom. If he wanted to just knock it out, if he wanted to slow it down completely. But you know what? My Porygon 2 is now paralyzed, and that's not a really big deal because he's not really the fastest thing in the entire world anyway. But he goes for a Volt Switch, and you know, I can respect that amount of damage it did to a Porygon 2, but you know what? It's not like it was that big of a deal. He goes into his Bisharp. Now, Bisharp, B-Sharp, B-Booby, whatever his name is, I really couldn't care less. But I go for a Tri-Attack, and I didn't expect it to do this much damage. I really didn't expect it to do that much. So I was like, you know what? He's going to go for a Sucker Punch or a Drain Punch. One of the two. So I'm going to go into my Houndoom predicting the Sucker Punch, and hopefully I can out-predict this thing, but he goes for a Knockoff instead. And you know what, I'm okay with that because it still just like does a little bit of damage, but not too much. And like I said, he gets scared because he has 2 Steel types, and he switches out into a Spin Cycle again. Now, at this point in time, I was like, you know what, if I can just keep on getting him to do this, maybe, just maybe, I could outstall him and get him to switch in and out over and over again. So I go back into my Porygon 2, predicting the Volt Switch. And yeah, he did. And obviously he's going to go back out into his freaking Bisharp to try to knock off my Violet. That's the whole thing. I've realized that that's what Harrison likes to do. He likes to knock off my Violet on my Porygon 2. He does it every single battle that I use Porygon. But instead he goes into his Keldeo. And I was like, I don't really feel comfortable taking a Sacred Sword. So I'm going to get the heck out of there. And I'm going to go into my Chandelure to eat up the Sacred Sword, because honestly I don't really feel comfortable with having one of my Pokemon die, and you know what, that was a very good prediction on my part. Now I went for the Energy Ball here. I thought that he would stay in, go for a Hydro Pump, but he didn't. He goes in that stupid Bisharp, and I'm just really upset. Yeah, I was very upset. Now, here's a fun little fact about my Chandelure. Most people run Choice Scarfed. I don't. I run the Trick Set, so I actually run Shell Bell on mine, predicting people to come in with a Choice Scarf, and I can trick their item and then give them the Shell Bell. That was my whole plan with this, but it didn't really work out too well. So I go to my Houndoom, practically the only thing that really has priority to go for a Sucker Punch, and yep, bye-bye Bisharp. So that was kind of the end of that, like, the knockoff thing, so I wasn't really too worried about sending in my Porygon 2, like, willy-nilly now. And then he goes into his Victini. Now, I feel like he has 27 different Victinis, simply because I've seen ones that have Glaciate, ones that have Blue Flare, I've seen ones that have everything. This one just so happens to have Psychic, and I don't know why he went for that. I think he misclicked, I really do. Or he predicted me to switch out. I don't know why I would switch out on a Victini, but you know what? I got Victini out of the way, and I was happy about that. So, he goes into a Starscream. Now, here, I don't really know what to do, but I think I'm just going to go for a Sucker Punch, get as much damage off on this thing as I can, because I don't feel comfortable having anything switch into a Choice Banded or Choice Scarfed Brave Bird. It's just not in my plans today. So my Mega Houndoom is sadly going to go down, but you know what? It's whatever. I enjoyed using him. So now he's at red HP. So I go into my Cacturn, knowing that I have a Focus Sash, I can live any one hit, and I can get up a Swords Dance. And if he goes for Brave Bird, I knew he was going to knock himself out in recoil anyway. So, and that right there kind of showed me that he was choiced. So the Focus Sash did kick in. I get the Starscream to go down. I get, yep, just fall to the ground. There you go. And then I get the Swords Dance up. So now I'm at plus, like, I can't remember if Swords Dance is +1 or +2. Either way, it's a dangerous Cacturn. So he goes into his Magnezone. And you know what? I'm just like, he doesn't have the Sturdy anymore due to the Stealth Rocks and the Spikes. So maybe I could get off a Drain Punch and OHKO it, and I do. So that's why I love Drain Punch on Cacturn, because at +1, he can OHKO practically anything with like Drain Punch, Seed Bomb, Sucker Punch. It's a very, 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 very good strategy to use. So now his Keldeo comes in, and I'm like, you know what? I don't know if I can outspeed. I was hoping I could, but I couldn't. And he just goes for the Icy Wind, and that takes me out. I didn't want to go for a Sucker Punch because I didn't want him to get off the Justified boost and then like totally sweep my team. But now here's where the fun kicks in. I go into my Wailord. Now, my Wailord, I have a really, really, really good strategy with this Wailord. It just didn't get a chance to show. I actually run Soak and HP Grass. That's my whole entire power, or strategy. So you go for the HP Grass on the spin cycle and it knocks it out. Oh, excuse me. And yeah, it really made it fun to knock out something with a Wailord. I kind of enjoyed it. So he goes into his Keldeo. Now, let me tell you something. This Keldeo, I love Keldeo so much, but I hate this damn little pony thing. So many people use it and it makes me so freaking angry. Goes for the Secret Sword, and I live the Secret Sword from a Keldeo. That's the power of Wailord, and I go for an HP Grass, and it... that had to be 12 HP. Like, maybe a little bit more, but... Damn, that sucks. He goes for a Secret Sword, and it's going to knock out my Wailord. And that's really upsetting that my Wailord didn't get to do, like, his normal strategy. But you know what? It's whatever. It's whatever. So I go to my Porygon 2, and I'm like, I can live a Secret Sword. Simply because I'm a Porygon 2 on, like, max special defense and max HP with a Violet. Why not? And he goes for the Secret Sword, and I'm like, come on, Porygon 2, please pull through, and you don't. Ugh. So I ended up losing that battle. It was 1-0, but you know what? I got to use some really fun Pokemon. I mean, hey, who can complain about using a Wailord, a Cacturn, and a Pineco? Like, it was just a very fun battle. I hope you guys enjoyed this battle. Make sure you leave a like and a comment down below. Make sure that you subscribe, all you new subscribers. I couldn't think of the word. And I will hopefully see you guys later on today for an episode of my Pokemon X Nuzlocke Challenge. Have an absolutely fantastic day. Bye.